From the Fairmont Hotel in the heart of Silicon Valley, it's theCUBE, covering When IoT Met AI, the intelligence of things. Brought to you by Western Digital.
Hey, welcome back everybody. Jeff Frick here with theCUBE. We're in San Jose, California at the Fairmont Hotel at the When IoT Met AI show. It's all about the intelligence of things. A lot of really interesting startups here. You know, we're still so early days in most of this technology, and facial recognition gets a lot of play. Iris recognition, got to get rid of these stupid passwords. We're really excited to have our next guest. He's Modar Alaoui. He is the CEO and founder of Eyeris. And it says here, Modar, that you guys are into face analytics and emotion recognition. First off, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So face analytics, I'm a Clear customer. I love going to Clear at the airport. I put my 2 fingers down. I think they have my iris, they have different things, but face, what's special about the face compared to some of these other kind of biometric options that people have?
So yeah, we go beyond just the biometrics. We do pretty much the entire suite of face analytics, anything from eye openness, age, gender, emotion recognition, head pose, gaze estimation, et cetera, et cetera. So it is pretty much anything and everything that you can derive from the face, including non-verbal clues, yawning, head nod, head shake, et cetera.
That is a huge range of things. So clearly, just the face recognition to know that I'm me, probably relatively straightforward. A couple anchor points, does everything measure up and match the prior? But emotion, that's a whole different thing. Not only are there lots of different emotions, but the way I express my emotion might be different than the way you express the very same emotion, right? Everybody has a different smile. So how do you start to figure out the algorithms to sort through this?
Right, so you're right. There are some nuances between cultures, ages, genders, ethnicities, and things like that. Generally, they've been universalized for the last 3.5 decades by the scholars, the psychologists, et cetera. So what they actually have had a consensus on is that there are only 7 or 6 universal emotions plus neutral. Right, so
what are the 6?
Joy, surprise, anger, disgust, fear, sadness, and neutral.
Okay, and everything is some derivation of that. You can kind of put everything into
those
buckets.
That is correct. So think of them as the seven universal colors, or 7 primary colors, and then everything else is a derivative of that. Exactly. The other thing is, emotions are hardwired into our brain. They happen in a 15th or 25th of a second, particularly micro-expressions. And they can generally give up a lot of information as to whether a person has suppressed a certain emotion or not, or whether they are thinking about something negatively before they can respond positively, etc.
Okay, so now you got the data, you know how I'm feeling. What are you doing with it? It must tie back to all types of different applications, I would assume.
That's right, there are a number of applications. Initially, when we created this, what we call enabling technology, we wanted to focus on 2 things. One is what type of application can have the biggest impacts, but also the quickest adoption in terms of volumes. Today we focus on driver monitoring AI as well as occupants monitoring AI, so we focus on autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles. And the second application is social robotics, but in essence, if you think of a car, it's also another robot, except that social robotics are those potentially AI engines, or even AI engines in a form of an actual robot that communicates with humans, therefore the word social.
Right. So I could see kind of a semi-autonomous vehicle, or even a not autonomous vehicle. You want to know if I'm dozing off, and I think there's some of those things have been around in a basic form for a little while. But what about in an autonomous vehicle is impacted by my emotion as really a passenger, right? Not necessarily a driver if it's a level 5.
That's right. So when we talk about autonomous vehicle, I think what you're referring to is level 5 autonomy, where a vehicle does not actually have a steering wheel or gas pedal or anything like that. And we don't foresee that those will be on the road for at least another 10 years or more. The focus today is on level 2, 3, and 4, and that's semi-autonomy. Even for fully autonomous vehicles, you would see them come out with vision sensors or vision AI inside the vehicle, so that these sensors could, together with the software that can analyze everything that's happening inside, cater to the services towards what is going to be like the ridership economy, right? Once the car drives itself autonomously, the focus shifts from the driver to the occupants. As a matter of fact, it's the occupants that would be riding in these vehicles or buying them or sharing them, not the driver. And therefore, all of these services will revolve around who is inside the vehicle by age, gender, emotion, activity, etc.
Interesting. So of all these things, age, gender, emotion, activity, what is the most important, do you think, in terms of your business and kind of where, as you said, you can have a big impact?
We can group them into two categories. The first one is safety. Obviously, eye openness, head pose, blinking, yawning, and all of these things are of utmost importance, especially if we're focused on a driver at this point. But then there is a number of applications that relates to comfort and personalization. And so those could potentially take advantage of the emotions and the rest of the analytics that we provide.
So then where are you guys, Eyeris, as a company? Where do you have some installations, I assume, out there? Are you still early days? Kind of where are you in terms of the development of the company?
Oh, we have quite a mature product. What I can disclose is we have plans to go into mass production starting 2018. Some plans for Q4 2017 have been pushed out. So we'll probably start seeing some of those in Q1, Q2 2018.
Okay.
We made some announcements earlier this year at CES with Toyota and Honda. But then we'll be seeing some mass volume starting 2019 and beyond.
Okay. And I assume you're a cloud-based solution.
We do have that as well, but we are particularly a local processing solution. So
you are
offline,
local.
Yeah. So think of it as an edge computing type of solution.
Okay, and then do you work with other people's sensors and existing systems? Are you more of a kind of a software component that plugs in, or do you provide like the whole system in terms of the, I assume, cameras
so
to watch
we're a
the
software
people?
company only.
Okay.
We, however, are hardware, processor, camera agnostic. And of course, everything for everything to succeed, there will have to be some component of sensor fusion.
Right.
And therefore, we can work and do work with other sensor companies in order to provide higher confidence level of all the analytics that we provide.
Pretty exciting. So you're not. So is it commercially available? Are you GA now or not quite yet?
It will be commercially available. You'll start seeing it on the road or on the market sometime early next year.
Sometime early next year. All right. Well, we'll look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Very exciting times.
Thank you.
All right. He's Modar Alaoui, and he's going to be paying attention to you. Make sure you're paying attention to the road so you don't fall asleep and doze off and go to sleep. So I'm Jeff Rick. You're watching theCUBE. When IoT met AI, the intelligence of things. San Jose, California. We'll be right back after this short break. Thanks for watching.